Hello and welcome to another Tartabit IoT Bridge demonstration. Today we'll be looking at unencrypted MQTT to AWS IoT Core communications. So there are many reasons why you may want to connect a unencrypted MQTT connection to AWS IoT Core. It could be due to power constraints, monthly data consumption. It could be a limitation of the microcontroller, whatever it may be. We provide a solution to seamlessly bridge those MQTT connections to TLS-enabled MQTT connections in a AWS IoT core. So let's get started. We're going to follow the quick start guide from the IoT bridge for doing this MQTT to AWS IoT core bridging. Prerequisites. You need an account on the IoT bridge, you need access to an AWS account, and you need a client that supports unencrypted MQTT communications. What are we going to do today? Well, we're going to start by generating a certificate authority that we can use to authenticate these devices. We're going to then configure AWS IoT Core, configure the IoT bridge by importing a solution template, and then we will connect our first device and send some messages back and forth to show everything working. Let's start by generating the certificate. So the Getting Started guide provides the instructions to generate a CA certificate using OpenSSL. We will run that now. So you see the three commands. We'll run these. It's going to do a little bit of work. We'll just accept some default values for the certificate. And when this is done, you'll see that we now have a certificate, a private key in PKCS1 format, and a private key in PKCS8 format. Okay, now here we are in the AWS console, and we are going to start by importing the certificate authority that we just created to our AWS IoT Core account. So we go in, we register a CA certificate. It's going to be a multi-account mode certificate. So we will choose the certificate that we just generated, make sure that it is active and it allows certificate registration. So we will register that. Next, we're going to create a security policy. Now, you may already have security policies defined based on how your devices work, what topics you plan on using, but I'll create a default one for now. And for the JSON, I will grab this from our Getting Started guide. Now, you will note that we need to supply a little bit of information here. Okay, I'm using Ohio, so that's US East 2. So I just have to update that in here. So this policy, if you look at the details here, allows any device ID to connect and then allows publish and subscribe to anything with an IoTB prefix. So now I just need to grab my account ID and put that in here. So now I have my policy. This is a default policy. This may not suit your production needs, but it should be good for getting started. Okay, lastly, we need to actually now go and create our uh, provisioning profile. So we're going to go up here to connect many devices, create provisioning template, provisioning devices with unique certificates, just-in-time provisioning. We want this policy to be active. We will create a new role for this. Okay. And now we need to pick what CA to use. So we'll use that CA that we just defined. We need to enable automatic certificate registrations. We want automatic things to be created when devices get onboarded. And we want to now select that policy that we had just created to be assigned to those devices. So we review, everything looks good. We create the template. And we are ready to go. So next it's going to be over to the IoT Bridge. Okay, so now here we are in the IoT Bridge console, and we're going to start by importing a solution template. So we go down here to Solution Templates, MQTT. You see we have an MQTT to AWS IoT Core template. So now when we click import, we need to supply some information. So first we need to go over to our IoT Core and get our device endpoint. So we can grab that. Put that in there. We need our CA that we had previously defined. So here's the CA certificate. Here we need our PKCS1, so the PKCS1 private key file. And then we need to remember these usernames and the username and password. This is what we're going to use to authenticate our MQTT connection. So I'm just saving this for later. So I run that import. We see that everything's successful. And now I can go and actually connect my first device. So on the left here, I have MQTT Explorer, which is a common desktop MQTT client. On the right, I have the AWS IoT MQTT client. So first, I'll set a test subscription here. So if we, let's say, watch for IOTB/pound, let's find anything that comes in from the IoTB topics. Now I'm going to create a new connection. So this is going to be my insecure MQTT. Where am I connecting? I'm connecting to Nostromo mqtt.tartabit.com. I need my username and password from that when we imported the template. So I will grab the username and the password. Then I just need to configure some topics. So if I try to subscribe to pound, AWS IoT Core will immediately end the connection. So instead, I will do this and this topic. So I'm subscribing to IoT B/device. So now if I connect, you see that I'm connected and we can go and start. Let's say I've got a test topic IoTB/AAA. I can publish to that. Hey, look, we see the message showing up in AWS IoT Core. Likewise, I can go to publish a topic. So if my topic is IoTB/device, like we set up in my subscriptions, I can publish that here and I see it. The message has come back to my client. And so in a few minutes, we set up end-to-end connecting from a unencrypted MQTT connection into AWS IoT Core and demonstrated bidirectional connectivity. So that concludes this demonstration. I encourage you to check us out on our website at tartabit.com and send us any questions you may have. Look forward to working with you.